Welcome back into Sports Talk ATL, joined by Mark Zinno, Alex Lord, and Chase Earl. We left off with a little topic, a discussion, one that I'm gonna love. I'm just gonna sit back and watch and let you guys argue it because I have my reasons, but I understand both sides of it. So I'm excited to see both people that are polar opposites on this. Kirk Cousins, what the Falcons should do, March 17th, 3 days away, over the weekend, or the day after the weekend, St. Patty's Day. What are you guys thinking about his future? What should the Falcons do?
No. I want to hear your side. I mean,
you're the guest, Mark. What kind of host would I be if I went before the guest?
The kind that is trying to ambush me and set me up. I know exactly what kind of games you play there, Lord. All right, let's settle down. Look, I mean, you're paying the $10 million regardless, right? Again, there's no reason to move Kirk Cousins unless it's a post June 1st trade, right? That gives you the ultimate cap space that you need. And takes you from $27.5 million against the cap this year to $12.5 million, right? Like that's substantial enough for you to try and maneuver post June 1st and make some things happen. There are always still late season, late camp cuts and everything else that, there's maneuvers for trades and ways to maneuver things around after June 1st that, could still move the needle and things of that nature. So that's the only way to move it. That said, I don't, as much as I believe the Falcons when they say that they are, quote, comfortable with him on the roster, which is an awful word to use because you're not comfortable. You're just dealing with it, right?
That's true.
I mean, that's like saying I'm comfortable with hemorrhoids. No, I just it's not comfortable at all. You just live with it. So the idea that he needs to be here, and again, I think both things are true. Kirk Cousins and what he did in blaming the Falcons for his injury and calling them out for not treating it correctly was more about, from his side, creating a market for himself, letting people know that was the reason for his poor performance. I get what he did. I understand why he did it. I'm not against what he did. But if you're the Falcons, you don't bring a guy back into your house to just spit in your face. Like, that's another reason to move on from him. And, oh, by the way, the guy wants to be a starter. He's not going to help Michael Penix out. He doesn't have to help Michael Penix out. He doesn't need to do anything but sit there on the sideline with a cap on and now a tablet, no more clipboards, and just, chill out and collect $40 million. So what is the reason you're going to continue to invest time, energy, and effort into this cost that you've already paid to get nothing out of it?
Because I'm stupid. Because I don't care. Okay. Because I'm willing to go jump off of this ledge with you, Kirk Cousins. You die, I die. The Falcons aren't winning a Super Bowl. Whatever happens this year, it doesn't matter what scenario plays out.
Probably unlikely.
There is no way what happens with Kirk Cousins is going to benefit 2025. We're talking about potentially working it off in 2026 in terms of maybe we get some draft capital. Maybe we knock down this cap number this year, which benefits us, getting a Trey Hendrickson kind of a guy where we can get him under the cap this year and it benefits us in the future. In my opinion, there is 0% chance, literally zero. If I could go less than zero, I would do it. There is a -% chance Kirk Cousins is willing to just sit on the pine with his tablet and accept a backup role. Correct. There is no shot in hell a guy 36 years old, yep, I don't know if he has much left, is going to just accept a backup role. If I know that, I know what cards he's holding. I know that at a certain point, he will get too close to the Flames and go, all right, whatever has to happen for me to get out of Atlanta so I can start somewhere, I'm going to be willing to do. And if I'm the Falcons, I'm going, if all of this is true about Kirk, kind of throwing the team under the bus and yada, 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 I don't know you a damn thing. Even if that didn't happen, you're Kirk Cousins. You have the cachet in Atlanta. You're just a mercenary for hire. I'll throw you out of the car, not think twice about it. What do we owe this guy?
Most mercenaries are cheaper than this.
Let's also get something out there too. And I'm going to switch tunes a little bit. All this nonsense, and there's plenty of it going on 92.9 The Game. I've heard you a couple of times go back against it. Hang on. That Kirk Cousins is somehow this mastermind manipulator who just did everybody so wrong. It's like, can everybody just put themselves in his shoes for a second? He's in the twilight years of his career. If he said I'm injured, he is potentially opening the door for Michael Penix to take his job and to never get it back. Why in the hell would he ever admit to an injury?
I agree. No, I mean, I don't. I have never objected to anything you just said.
No. Other personalities on 92.9. I'm saying.
Oh. Right. It's not just them. It's
like Falcons fans are like, yeah, screw Kirk. Like, yeah. It's like he did what he thought. Like, we know who Kirk Cousins is. He's a milk boy. Like, that guy doesn't cuss. He probably doesn't drink alcohol. He's a nice family. He's a white picket fence guy. This guy's some mastermind evil genius who wants to destroy the Falcons.
Excellent. No, I think you're right. And again, why, knowing that they drafted his replacement, why would he risk anything of his job security? He wouldn't go and sit out for a couple of games. But again, it all circles back to just, the lack of decision-making and control in this organization. At some point in time, the coach needs to go, dude, you can't get the ball outside. I need to sit you down until you're healthy. You're going to get your job back in 2 weeks, but you need to sit down right now because you're losing ball games for us. And they let it go on, thinking it was going to get better. They let it go on. They crafted game plans around him throwing the ball to places they knew he couldn't get the ball to, which is mind-blowing to me. That's why I keep telling you, some of those losses, as bad as Kirk played, were on the coaching.
I agree. Everybody should be blaming Raheem Morris, Terry Fontenot, and everybody else in that building who watched the gameplay throughout the week and going, I think he still got it.
Some of them. I mean, I would argue almost all of them. I mean, outside of, I don't know if there were any blowouts over that stretch. I feel like most of them were pretty winnable games.
Denver.
The Denver was a blowout, but the other games were all winnable games. I mean, listen,
especially the Chargers.
All of this lies at the feet of the people that were making the decisions to keep him out there when he wasn't looking like the guy. I mean, I will never get behind bashing a player for doing what he did, especially Kirk Cousins. And there was
they should have put the team first. Why?
Why would he ever?
Why would he do that?
He knows Michael Penix is sitting there.
Would you do that? No, of course you wouldn't.
And by the way, the organization did him absolutely dirty by not telling him they were drafting his replacement.
This relationship started off so rocky. There was no way it was going to work.
I'm glad you brought that up, Mark, because that's a part of this. Everyone that just everyone glosses over. Like, the Falcons signed this guy, and then before he even took a snap, before he even landed in Atlanta, his replacement was taken, and that goes into his probably decision making when he's thinking, oh, this guy's gonna I mean, it was such a mess from the beginning. And we said this on the show.
They should have.
We said this on the show.
If you want to look, if the Giants want to sign Aaron Rodgers and then draft Shedeur Sanders, that's different. Aaron Rodgers
different.
A 1-year deal. He'll get $18 million. You gave Kirk Cousins $180 million to draft his replacement. It was an awful decision, and nobody who was ever wearing a Falcons lapel pin is ever going to admit to it, and that's the biggest part of their problem. They're in a constant state of denial about their actions.
And I'll say one last thing, and then we do have to let you go. It was a great show, by the way, Mark. Thank you for coming on. But isn't it funny how we've done 4 segments and how every single one of the Falcons' problems all comes back to the same decision, which we sat here and we criticized a year ago. I mean, we just absolutely bashed it, and everybody commented, oh, you're just being so negative. Like, you don't see the vision. They have a vision. You don't know what you're talking about. You know what? I do know what I'm talking about, because all you have to do is not be an idiot not to do that. And the Falcons...
There was only a very small window that defined success for the whole thing, which included Kirk playing super well for at least 2 years and making deep playoff runs, and then handing the reins over to Penix, who played equally as good, if not better, and got you to a Super Bowl. That was the only window you got through that made sure it made sense, and that thing was smaller than you can imagine.
Yeah, Mark, I don't know. Planes haven't been landing very well, so I don't think that one ever had a chance. But thank you for joining us. We love it. We'll see you here again next week.
Thanks, boys.